Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubeverse? I am back for a video. I know I have not done a video for a while, and I was thinking that today's video was going to be the difference between poison and venoms kind of a thing, especially when it comes to animals and stuff, but that'll come. I was listening to music and stuff, and I started thinking about things and where I was compared to where I am now. I do have the window open right now, so you will hear my neighbors being noisy. The dude next door, he work at home and he do all sorts of stuff. So they're clattering and stuff, and I do apologize for that. But it's a nice little day out, and I do that right because check him. That little guy right there likes his cat television even at nighttime, and that's one of the things I wanted to kind of talk about. Kind of not him specifically, but the blessings for this animal stuff I've been doing for the past few years as a job now and everything, and all the blessings that has come with it, and everything that stuff like that. And why I'm doing that is because I don't know. I feel like I had to talk about it. I think if some people hear about a bit of my story, not the entire thing, but the transition from not so good me to where I am to now, the person that you guys now pretty much know a bit better, and the person I've become happy with. And, I say that because I feel like some of you might be struggling some, and you may not really know what to do next. So maybe my little bit of something might help you out. But let me just talk about it real quick. Before I started working with animals and stuff, I was working delis, kitchens, all sorts of things. Got to the point where I worked with a poop scooping company. Yes, there are those who drive trucks around and they clean up yards and clean up all of those receptacles. The bins with the doggy doo doos in them and stuff. Receptacles. I tried using a big word and it's failing, so we're not going to try that. We're just going to say the metal trash binny things that you put dog doo doo in. Pretty much the company like that I worked for a few years and everything. And even when I first started working with PetSmart and everything, I didn't quite have happiness. I didn't quite find me. Now, when I did start working with PetSmart and finding, animals and rehoming and working with them and everything, the change started. I started becoming less angry. I started loving myself more. Before then, I never had a thing. I wanted to be a music teacher at one point. I wanted that so bad. I wanted to help people, specifically middle school, because middle school was a hard age for me. When you're going into that age from child to teenager and your body changing up some and stuff, and kids make fun of you and stuff, sometimes just having a positive influence right there in the front of the classroom just to, smile, laugh at the kids. I know kids are kids, so I knew they would say stuff. I knew they'd try to be mean and whatnot. I lived it. I was bullied my worst in middle school. And some of the reasons why I did get past that is I did have a few good teachers that told me what to do, that helped me out. And what you do, it is doo doos and doo doos. If you do actually feel out, down, whatever, all you gotta do is keep pushing. I loved animals since I was a kid and everything, but at the same time, how could it be a job? How could it be a career? I didn't think so. I thought the market for that, well, it is very tight. There's not much for it. And it don't pay amazing unless you're really, really big into it. But it's just like when you want to be a teacher, you do it for the passion. Something about that spurred on more in me. And I started doing more and more deep soul searching. And I started disliking more and more the person I was and kind of was at the time. So much so that almost for a bit, I almost relapsed into like a depression overload kind of thing. I had animals I had to rehome and give away. Well, giveaway is rehoming. And then I had something pass away on me from old age or illness. I had a lot of animals here. I was very close to that point where people would say I had too many, but I was keeping up with them all and I was still taking care of them. Even my roommate was like, I don't know how you do that. It's only because I love it. Like, it don't feel like work to me. when you know and love on just the creatures of this earth and stuff and want to help them. The vivariums I do, the stuff I do, is because I've literally since been a child picking up these creatures, looking at them, putting them back. I've been herping at a young age, and I stopped herping as I got older because by that point I didn't want to cause any damage to the ecosystem or anything. And I wasn't recording or doing anything out for it. It was just more of my own curiosity. And I felt by that point in North America on the East Coast where I'm at, I've done enough picking up and looking at creatures to know better, in a sense. So I'm telling you all this because this is the growth from when I was very young to accepting a really true talent of mine. Like, I love music and stuff. That'll always be in my heart. And I will always be able to read it. I'll always be able to play it. But even before music, it was animals and stuff. And when I finally accepted something like that, and I finally started to delve into my truth, my happiness of sorts, what I feel like is truly my true talent to better this earth. And I started going into that and thinking about more and more just all I wanted to do in life is help people. And with the idea of helping animals and stuff, I can do that. Y'all have different things that you want to do with life and stuff, but I do hope it's a positive thing that will help. Um, no matter if it's those just you and close, I don't know. That kind of mindset could stomp on some toes, though, so you do have to be careful with that. You do want to take care of yourself and uplift yourself. I guess what I'm getting at is never give up, because there was a time I certainly almost did. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be here today at peace. Financially, nothing's really changed. In fact, because I switched jobs from big pet store company to small pet store company, my funds are not what they used to be when I worked for those kind of things. But the fact I'm working for a company that isn't all about money, that isn't what we can do despite, might hurt animal or something along the way, doesn't matter for profit kind of mindset, I'm not with that anymore. I tried being on the inside helping animals the way I could, and it left me to losing my job in the long run. And, it takes two to tango. I probably said things. They probably found things I wasn't doing quite right because I didn't want to spray all the chemical and overdose on things. Their stuff needs to be revised. I'm sure it might have been. I don't know. That was a couple of years ago. I worked for the company, so I'm not going to talk bad about the company. And I never want anything bad to happen to anyone or anything. But it was tough. And even though I found something I loved, it still didn't feel right. And then here I am at a different small pet store kind of thing, doing this YouTube channel. This is growing. You guys are so amazing. You're giving my dreams a sort of palpability, fruition of some sorts that I would have not thought possible under this specific career choice. Because let's face it, unless you're a zookeeper or some sort of super famous animal person, you're not making much off of this career choice. But gosh dang, if I can't imagine myself doing anything else but this kind of stuff, I couldn't tell you. And I found it, and I'm happy with life, and I'm growing to be happier. I'm forever going to be on my own little path of redemption to correct that version of me that was not the version that I'm happy with. That version of me didn't even respect the life I was given. The greatest gift we got, I somehow found a way to dislike it. And that can be something very easy to happen. That's a trick. It's a trick done by the evil side of things, I believe in good, evil, that. I'm not super biblical kind of person, but I am religious in a sense. And I'm a God-fearing man. I mean, I got into it in the past and everything. I pretty much believe in a good and an evil, and everything in between of that kind of stuff. One day I might talk about the fun stuff of my hippie mind and all that and spiritualisms and things, but ultimately, I'm glad I rooted myself in the side that is the light, that is the peace, positive love side of things. And it's hard to explain what that kind of feeling is and what that is, but it feels right. is what I will say. You get them tingles, you get a sigh of relief. It feels okay for a bit, I guess. You'll know when you find it. But you have to keep pushing. Young or old, it doesn't matter. As long as you draw that breath, you can find your own happiness too. And I do hope that for you. So today's video, I know I do these fun little videos every once in a while where it's all talking and all this the way I do. But yeah, one of those fun videos for today. And I hope that you guys take a little bit out of this random ranting thing. But I really started thinking about stuff I was like in the past and where I've come to now and where I am in here and in, the heart, you know? I started thinking about that stuff and how I've changed so much. And if you're in a bad spot, I hope you find that too. And if you're in a spot like me, I hope you keep holding on to that. I hope as long as you live, you never, ever let go of that feeling. Because that's the strength that's going to help this world be a better place. Hold on to that love night. You can do that. I'm definitely going to do it. Because once you got it, dude, you don't want to let it go. It's a good feeling. It really is. It's nice to be someone who wants good for others, kind of a thing. And I ain't talking about people to people. I mean just good for the earth in general. But anyway, I'm probably talked more than enough to all of y'all's. More than 10 minutes of chatting here, and you're probably done hearing my voice. So there's plenty of other new shorts, other videos and things. Y'all please ask any questions of anything you want to know. Give me some ideas for some actual videos. Otherwise, the shorts and the fun things that I feel like talking about will always be keep spurring on out there. I ain't done by a long shot. So y'all don't get done either. Push on, because you're absolutely amazing. And you deserve to find the happiness I found in my own heart. And from there, y'all have a good one and an absolutely awesome day, night, morning, whatever time you're watching this. I hope it's awesome. And if it ain't, I hope after this video it gets better. With that, peace out.